Postma. 1420 Lala Tiburona. 22 is Habanero Romero. 29 Darko. 31 Kid Vicious. 316 Evangelical. 33 is Skinner. 343 Trinity. 39 is Gaffney. 48 Brute. 5 American Gangster. 70 Freddie Herfury. And number 99 Sally Handsome. Let's get ready to play roller derby. Getting ready for jam one of period one. We've got Sally Handsome on the line for the Rose City Rollers up against Freight Train for Angel City. And there's our whistle. Freight Train quickly moving up to the front of the pack, taking a nice whip off of number 88. That is Tui Lion. Freight Train with 1 to beat in American Gangster. Freight Train lead jammer for the Scarlets. Sally Handsome trying the inside line. Finding Queen Luz Utifa instead. Sally Handsome through on a Star Stash. Freight Train looking to put all 4 on the board, calls it off. Looks like we've got Jackpot up against Schadenfreude. Jackpot through after a whip off of one of the twins. Lead jammer goes to Rose City. Schadenfreude about a quarter track behind. Pack is on the move. Jackpot has 1 on the board so far, calls it off. On the Jam on Hawthorne Jammer line, we've got Trinity up against Ghetto Fabulous. There's a whistle. Nice offensive work right off the line. Great job by Skinner to suck back and get Ghetto Fabulous behind the jam line. Trinity working up to the top of the pack. Ghetto Fabulous taking another run at it. First penalty of the game goes to number 42. That is Blackman on a direction. Pack is extending out. Trinity with 2 to beat. Nice bump up by AOA. Ghetto Fabulous stuck behind Kid Vicious. Carl and Brute, beautiful spin job, not quite enough. Trinity with 1 to beat. Lead jammer goes to Trinity 50 seconds into the jam. That's a 2-town-sider star pass on Angel City to Death Down Under. Trinity looking to score points for Rose City. There's a full 4 through on a backspin, calling it off. Lala Tiburona jamming for Rose City. Freight Train once again on that Jam on Hawthorne jammer line. Lala trying the outside, not able to make anything of it, looking for some help from Gaffney and Katie. Nice job of Katie to try and get Freight Train out, not quite able to make it happen. Lead jammer goes to Angel City. Big hit there by Queen Luzia Tifa. Darko up the top of the pack, trying to get Freight Train out, not able to make it happen. And two-town sider star pass on Rose to Katie Postma. Freight Train seeing the star pass goes ahead and calls it off. Evangelical facing off against Schadenfreude in this jam. There's our whistle. Evangelical quickly to the top, looking for some offensive help from Brute. Schadenfreude lead. Beautiful shot at the apex, not able to make it happen because of Blackman. Evangelical through, Blackman taking a final swipe. Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is clear. Sally Handsome up against Ghetto Fabulous. Sally Handsome out, lead jammer goes to Rose City. Ghetto Fabulous about a third a track behind. The pack is on the move. Rose manages to get a goat at the back. Sally Handsome through, picking up 2 points. Jackpot and Freight Train once again on that Jam on Hawthorne jam line. There's our whistle. Jackpot quickly to the top. Getting some help from Carl. Nice juke to the outside. Jackpot trying to power past Death Down Under. Queen Luzia Tifa facing off against Kid Vicious. Freight Train lead jammer for Angel City. Two-town sider star pass on Rose to Brute. Trinity and Schadenfreude are wearing the stars this jam. Both jammers through almost at the same time. Trinity, due to some offensive help there by Gaffney, it's a race. The pack is also on the move. Angel City desperately trying to slow it down. Lala Tiburona up against Ghetto Fabulous. Crackerjack coming all the way back to mess up that AOA defense off the line. Lala through. Just kidding, that's a forearm. Oh, both of them headed to that penalty box. Lala on a forearm and Ghetto Fabulous on a cut track. This will be our first full 2-minute jam. Lala re-engaging the pack and immediately getting hit by Crackerjack and Queen Luz Yatifa. Lala hit to the outside by Queen Luz Yatifa, rolled back once again by Crackerjack, back behind the Jam on Hawthorne Jammer line. Ghetto Fabulous stuck behind Carl and company. That's Carl, Brute, Skinner. And a Mark and Gangster. Lala finding Queen Luz Yatifa once again. Lala up at the top of the pack, 2 to beat. I believe that's Death Down Under, headed to the penalty box on a failure to reform. Carl also headed to the penalty box there for a destruction penalty. No initial pass completed for Angel City. 2 points put on the board for AOA. And we've got 2 in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box, so pack will be lean for both teams. Evangelical able to get out, lead jammer for AOA. Freight Train hot on Eve's heels. Once again, the pack moves. Darko trying to take out Tui Lion. Darko going and taking a seat in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box at the whistle for illegal contact. We have an official timeout being called. This official timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Deb Counts-Tabor. Welcome to PDX.
Is this easier for you to read when I do in the boxes, so you know what jams it is?
If you're on a highlight, who got lead?
Halftime.
Sally Handsome up against Stiletto. First time Stiletto's jamming this game. Nice job by Brute and Skinner and Kid Vicious to keep Stiletto at the back. What are you doing? 4 points on the board for both teams that jam. Axles of Annihilation at 18, Hollywood Scarlets 21. Gaffney with the offense right off the line for Jackpot. Beautiful job there by Katie Postma. Schadenfreude is not lead. Nice setup for an apex jump, interrupted by Gaffney. Katie Postma with recycle on Schadenfreude. Habanero Romero covering the outside line. Gaffney shrugging off a hit by number 215, Bugogi. Jackpot. Hollywood Scarlets picking up 4 on that jam. Trinity and Freight Train. There's our whistle. Skinner and American Gangster off the line, holding Freight Train. Trying to escort to the outside. Freight Train getting a big hit by Brute, recycled back to the pivot line. Trinity is lead jammer for AOA. Trinity looking for help from Carl. Unfortunately, Carl pulls the direction penalty. Queen Lujatifa shoving American Gangster out of the way. Freight Train getting some help from Tui Lion. And we have a two-town sider star pass on the Scarlets to Blackman. Blackman hit to the outside by Brute and Gangster. Gangster with the recycle. Both jammers recycling back to the jam line. Blackman back on the track, getting offensive help from Freight Train. Blackman hit to the inside by Carl. A tap to the inside followed up by Skinner, long recycle. Trinity hit to the inside by Death Down Under. Goes ahead and calls it off after putting 4 on the board. That's a team timeout being called on Angel City. This timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Deb Constaber, and welcome to PDX. Lala Tiburona jamming up against Bermuda Biangle. That's a multiplayer being called on Queen Lucia Tifa. Lala through, lead jammer goes to Rose. Nice offensive help by Perfect, unfortunately getting a direction penalty. Bermuda Biangle working up the top of the pack. Behind Freddie, Darko, and Gaffney. Lala with 4 on the board. Bermuda Biangle trying the inside, not able to make anything of it. We have a cut track on Bermuda Biangle. That's going to leave Lala Tiburona in a power jam for Rose. Lala going ahead and calling it, icing Bermuda Biangle in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. Rose going ahead and putting Evangelical on that jam line. With Kid Vicious, Amara, Brute, and Carl. Knowing the pack was going to run. Beautiful job of grabbing a goat. Kid getting an illegal position out of that. Bermuda Biangle back on the track, finding Gangster and Brute. That is Boo Gogi getting in everybody's business. Carl coming in with some offensive help. Big hit by Tui Lion, sending Evangelical to the outside. Blackman, Tui Lion, and Rachel Rotten with a side of Bugogi. Bugogi getting so low. No lead jammer has been declared with less than 30 seconds on the jam time. Bermuda Biangle trying the outside, finding Carl and Brute. Amara assessed a multiplayer. That was a full 2-minute jam, no initial pass for either jammer. Sally Handsome and Ghetto Fabulous. Everybody crowding around that jam line. Gaffney managing to cover all of the lines. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. Two downsider star pass on Rose from Sally Handsome to Katie Postma. Ghetto Fabulous getting through, picking up all 4 and calling it off. Well, 3 points. Jackpot and Freight Train. There's our whistle. Great job by Tui Lion to clear a lane for Freight Train. Not quite soon enough. Jackpot gets lead for Rose. Freight Train finding Brute and Amara up at the top of the pack. Skinner dropping the bridge along with Carl. Jackpot being held at the back. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. Freight Train through on initial. Jackpot, the big hit to the inside by Whiskey Von Sweets, calls it off. That's an official timeout. All of our timeouts brought to you by Debcam Sabre, and welcome to PDX, the official realtor of Rose City Rollers. Habanero Romero with the big defense off the line. Trinity and Schadenfreude both jamming. Schadenfreude trying the outside, finding Freddie and Darko. Nice hit to the outside. Unfortunately, no pass, no penalty. Darko head to the penalty box on a forearm. Schadenfreude taking another swing at the pack. Around the outside. Excellent job by Gaffney with that hit out. Trinity still stuck in the middle of everything there. Schadenfreude through. We've got a two downsider star pass on Rose to Gaffney. Schadenfreude putting 4 up for Angel City. Gets through, picking up another 4 and calls it off. Lala once again wearing that star up against Stiletto. Stiletto trying the outside with help from Bugogi. Trying the outside again, but finding Carl. Lala recycled back to the back. Stiletto recycled back to the back. Skinner, Carl, and Darko holding Stiletto back. Tui Lion coming in, trying with the offensive help. Lala up at the top, pushing against Blackman and Rachel Rotten. Both jammers really locked down in the pack. Blackman coming in with the offense, allowing Stiletto through. Lead jammer goes to Angel. Lala hit to the outside, recycled back by Rachel Rotten. Rose in a power jam with Stiletto headed to the penalty box. Carl headed to the penalty box for Rose on a direction. Lala looking for help from the remaining 3 Rose City blockers. Angel City with a great job of neutralizing that power jam. Rose only able to put 4 on the board to the 2 points for the Scarlets. Sally Handsome and Ghetto Fabulous. Penalty box is almost clear. Ghetto Fabulous out for lead. Big hit there by Death Down Under on Handsome. Beautiful offensive help on Angel by Crackerjack. Ghetto through for 4. Beautiful 2-town sider star pass on Rose to Katie Postma. Katie was able to sneak through, pick up all 4. We have a team timeout being called by the Axles of Annihilation. This timeout brought to you by our Sarah's official realtor, Deb Counts-Tabor. Welcome to PDX. Lead jammer goes to Freight Train. Jackpot still working, looking for some offensive help from Brute. Freight Train around the outside, able to get through, picking up an additional 4 for the Scarlets. Nice apex jump there at the whistle. 3 additional points on the board for the Scarlets. Both teams have used their official review this half. Neither has been retained. Penalty box is clear. Trinity up against Schadenfreude this time around. Schadenfreude stuck behind Darko. Nice hit to the inside by Freddie, assisted by Gaffney. Freddie coming up front. Trinity trying to get through on the inside. It's a multiplayer being called on Trinity. That's going to leave the Scarlets in a power jam. Nice hit to the outside by Darko, recycle by Gaffney. Angel City setting up for a defensive sweep here. Nice job by Darko. Excellent job by Gaffney. Nice recycle by Death Down Under. Trinity trying the inside to the outside. Nice job by Hobbs to go ahead and clear that lane. Trinity through on initial. Jammer on jammer. Scarlets putting 12 up that jam. That is the largest jam of the game so far. And here we are at intermission for the next 14-ish minutes.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try for yourself. We've got you.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Inquiry number 80393, company is Seba Guide.